Let's get some more on all of this truly dramatic developments. Democratic Congressman Krishnamorthi of Illinois is joining us. He's a member of both the Intelligence and the Oversight Committees. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. I want to start with the breaking news that the House Intelligence Committee is now considering taking what are being described as extreme measures to conceal the whistleblower's identity, including limiting the presence of staff and members during testimony and disguising the individual's image and voice. Do you think all that is necessary?
Well, we're kind of in an unusual situation where the president is basically threatening the whistleblower. We've heard the various pieces of rhetoric that he's directed toward the whistleblower. He wants to know the identity of the whistleblower. And so this extremely unusual situation, unfortunately, demands extreme measures in terms of protecting the security of the whistleblower. We cannot allow the president to somehow get to the whistleblower or threaten him or discourage him or her from telling their side of the story and us learning what exactly is the extent of the alleged scheme displayed in his complaint.
Do you trust Republican lawmakers to protect this official, this whistleblower, from exposure?
I'd like to trust the secrecy of our identities of whistleblowers and other important facts to all members of our committee. However, the fact of the matter is that we can't guarantee 100% assurance or safety for this whistleblower in the current situation using normal methods or measures. And so that's why we have to resort to these extreme measures which you described.
Do you think this person, this whistleblower's life is actually potentially in danger?
I don't know about that, and I can't comment on that. That being said, what the president has said in terms of calling him or her a spy or their associate spies, and that they would be handled a certain way in the past would suggest that even their personal safety is something that we have to be concerned about right now.
As you know, there's now a second whistleblower who claims to have what's being described as first-hand knowledge backing up the complaint filed by the original whistleblower. Do you know anything else about the information this official is prepared to disclose?
I do not. I do not know this whistleblower's identity. However, based on what the Inspector General has said in the past, there are other individuals who corroborate the first whistleblower's complaint. That's what led the Inspector General to call the whistleblower's complaint both credible and urgent. And so, all I know is what I've read in the press from the attorney for this second whistleblower. And so I would just commend this person for coming forward. And hopefully this person will be allowed to follow the process as it was intended, namely, file a whistleblower complaint with the Inspector General. The Inspector General then investigates it. And then in this case, if it happens, I hope that the acting Director of National Intelligence, McGuire, forwards that complaint to us if it's judged to be credible and urgent, unlike what happened before.
As you also know, House Democrats, they want to know a lot more about the freezing of foreign aid, economic and military assistance to Ukraine.
Yes,
how do these latest subpoenas to the Pentagon, the Office of Management and Budget, fit into the overall impeachment probe?
Yes. So basically, according to press reports, the White House instructed Mr. Mulvaney, the director of the Office of Management and Budget, and also the acting White House Chief of Staff, to basically then instruct the Defense Department and the State Department to freeze the aid and to convey to Congress that the aid was being frozen because of a quote-unquote interagency process. Again, according to press reports, officials at the State and Defense Department were alarmed at this prospect, and they actually tried to get that directive reversed. And so we need to understand why that aid was being frozen, what was actually conveyed to Mick Mulvaney, but also to officials at the State and Defense Department, and whether these other supposed reasons for freezing the aid were given. It doesn't sound like they were, and I think everybody is right now quite puzzled on Capitol Hill, given the fact that we appropriated this aid in September 2018, a whole year ago, and it still hasn't reached Ukraine.
Congressman Krishnamoorthi, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Wolf.